Middleton and Fleming will be jumping it up. Middleton wins the tip. Ball's all over the place. Ripley gets it out. Ball is loose, and that is going to be picked up there by Rowe. And back the other way come the Edward Little Red Eddies. And an unfirst turnover. Something with it.
Yeah, both teams, or at least EL in that first possession, a little bit too quick, pass a little too strong, and you, like you say, you got to see the ball into your hands.
The interest to see if Edward Little goes zone tonight. They had a lot of success against Oxford Hills with that zone early in the season. Beauchene out on the right elbow, extended, now gets it to Fleming. Fleming loses the handle, and Davidson can't track it in, so each...
Edward Little has watched some film when Andrew Fleming caught the ball, that one, and then bounced out of bounds, couldn't get it back.
They were trying to get the jump ball possession arrow going there. That's Jensen with it. Now he's going to get it up top to Sterling. Sterling's going to take a couple of dribbles. Now try to get it back out. It's going to be Maine. And miscommunication there between Maine and Little. Sure, that's not what Coach Adams wanted to see out of the first two possessions of the ball game.
Well, when you talk about possession evaluation, both teams with turnovers thus far, doesn't look that good on paper.
Beauchene crosses over. Fleming, nice pass, down low. Davidson off the glass, no good. Fleming can't get it to go. Rice up, gets it swatted away there by Middleton, but Ripley tracks it down. Oxford Hills keeps it. Ball tapped away. Rice saves it, gets it out to Ripley. Gets it to Fleming. Fleming's on the right elbow extended, takes a couple of dribbles left, spins, turns, loses it off of Maine's body, and then you're going to get a foul on the floor with Fleming there. And
yeah, he's really become the centerpiece of the team. Very unselfish player, trying to get other people involved in the low front line, but he's got to definitely not be in foul trouble as this game goes on.
And, of course, great defense there by Middleton. So 6:45 remaining, no score. Jensen drives in, kicks it out. That's going to be Rowe. Rowe gets it over to Maine. Maine on the right elbow extended, now picks up his dribble. Gets it over to Jensen. Jensen being guarded by Rice. Over to Middleton. Middleton takes a couple of dribbles. Drives into the paint. Up. Can't finish. Good defense by Ty Ripley. And Ripley comes down with the loose ball. That's batted around, and Sterling comes down with it. Now he's going to get that over to Rowe. Now he's going to get it back. Sterling's going to fire the three. No good. Nice box out there by Jensen, but a good play by Fleming to get the ball. You're going to get a foul down low, however.
Those are key fouls on the front line from Oxford Hills.
They get it out up top. That's going to be Jensen. Jensen being guarded by Rice. Gets it over to Sterling, who's being guarded by Beauchene. Beauchene keeping the hand up. Sterling dribbles it over now to Rowe. Onto the side, Jensen. Jensen looking to get it to Maine. Swings it across. And looked to get it to Middleton, but Middleton was headed out, so Ripley gets the steal.
Third turnover, and Edward Little, both teams playing man-to-man defense to start this one.
Fleming, crossover, picks up the dribble, gets it to Beauchene. Down low, Davidson with a nice seal. Nice hook, no good. Rebound down to Middleton. Good post move, just couldn't finish.
Good look, a little strong on the low box with that little jump hook from Davidson.
Fourth Edward Little turnover, pull up. Fleming off the glass, no good, and the rebound comes down to Rowe.
And both teams a little cold shooting early. Oxford Hills not looking good with their shot selection. I mean, with the shot.
Fouls were such a big... And then a nice inbound play there as Maine takes the lay-in up over the outstretched arms of Fleming, and we finally have a score 2-0. 5:23 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, they ran that classic out-of-bound play, got Maine on the weak side after a high ball screen, and got the easy layup.
Beauchene with a beautiful crossover, nice fake, and he got drilled. Fortunately, did get some arm there, so the official had to make the call. First free throw is up, and it is good. 2-1 now. Second free throw is also good, and we're tied at 2.
The matchup's interesting. Defensively for Oxford Hills, having Ty Ripley guarding Andrew Middleton. He's given up about 4 inches, but we know Ripley a terrific defensive player.
Well, Fleming guarded Middleton most of the first game, so it's definitely a little switch up there. Swing over to Sterling down on the baseline. Now he picks up the dribble. He's looking for trouble, or he's looking for help because he's in trouble. And then the ball's all over the place. Fleming, Middleton, and Davidson on the floor.
Jump ball or nothing, but they're going to call one on the big guy.
I actually thought the play was a little bit over there, so.
I did too.
No one can accuse us of being homers. Of course, and that's a nice backdoor play there. And Middleton had that scoped out and swatted that one back. And then Fleming picks up a cheapie in the backcourt, and that's 2 on Fleming.
Advantages of no call, I'm sorry, but no call. But that's 2 on Fleming.
And that's back-to-back no calls that should have been made. 1 on Middleton, 1 on Fleming. So, guess they're evened up now. Swung over to the side. That's going to be Rowe, and now you're going to get steps.
If you will, in the early going.
Chickering into the ball game for Fleming. Chickering handling the ball. You wonder if and Middleton gets in there to try to steal it away, and that's going to get kicked out of bounds.
Chickering on that play.
Looking to get it deep to Ripley. Ripley tracks it down. Stops. Nice shot fake over Middleton. Can't get the finish. Good move there by Ripley.
Yeah, he did a good job to catch the ball. Then he had to think about it because Middleton was there.
Jensen, three-pointer, no good. Sterling tries to save it, but gets on the end line, no good.
An error at, or 2 games ago, I should say.
And Sterling with a push.
Oh, this was the home of the B, C, and D tournaments, Western Maine, before they moved up to Augusta.
You know, I had heard about that from someone, I believe you, on the way over here, but that was quite a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, back in the 70s, I think. I'm not 100% sure the timetable precisely.
Rice with it into the lane, draws the contact, can't get it to go. Davidson tries to save it, but he got boxed out there by Rowe.
A little bit. Rice has been shooting lights out, probably averaging close to 20 points a game the last 3 games, and that one was just short. Shot it a little short.
Rice and Jensen working down low. Jensen's turnaround, no good. Rebound down to Dalton Rice. But now the ball's on the floor, and Davidson comes out with it. Spins it out to Beauchene. Beauchene and Chickering all up there, and Beauchene takes it himself. Up and in 4-2. Oxford Hills leads. Good look there by Davidson.
Yeah, and you have to like that by the floor general. Last game he didn't score hardly at all. This game he's got 4 to help him get it going.
Rowe with a kick out to Jensen. Jensen down low, and that's going to be to Cox, who is in the ball game. Down low again to Jensen, tries to get it on the backdoor screen. Chickering can't get a hold of it. Now they're going to kick it out. That's going to be Rowe. Jumper is good, and we're tied again at 4. Couple of opportunities there for Oxford Hills to come up with the ball, and they just could not get it secured into their hands, and Edward Little makes them pay.
Yeah, good ball movement by Edward Little. Caught Rowe at the foul line. Easy jumper for him.
2:45 remaining first quarter. We're tied at 4. Oxford Hills with the basketball, going left to right across your radio dial and across your video screen. Ripley up, no good. Rebound down to Jensen. Good defense there from Edward Little to alter that shot. Back the other way, it's Rowe. Jumper, back iron, no good. Falls a shot, comes down to the rebound, dribbles it up, and he's blocked by Davidson. No call by the officials. Good play there, and back the other way come the Vikings.
Terrific defensive play, but now they're going to call him for a trial. Checked in for Oxford Hills.
2:15 remaining, tied at 4. Looks like they're starting to get the rotations down, really, for both squads. Jensen fires away. That doesn't look good. And I think they're going to get Beauchene for a hold on the floor, and that'll be his second. A piece. Middleton inbounds. Cox to Rowe. Down low to Jensen. Kicks it out to Maine. Maine being guarded by Morton. Spins it up and over to Cox. Cox over to Rowe. Rowe down low to Jensen. Jensen turnaround, pivot, up, no good. Rebound is pulled down by Philibrown. Back the other way comes Oxford Hills. Rice has to be careful not to get the offensive foul. Can't quite get the finish and wasn't able to get himself inbounds first. So getting everything back together. That's called not losing control of the game, Tom.
Well, that's the way it should be. You know, these are young players, and they're emotionally charged, and the officials should recognize whether it's malicious or just harmless.
Oxford Hills with the fouls, Edward Little with the turnovers. The only difference is Oxford Hills' foul trouble is going to be plaguing them for most of the game, whereas the Edward Little turnovers can be overcome.
Yep, and the EL goes to their patented 1-3-1 extended play.
Chickering gets around it, now gets it over to Philibrown. Swings it over to Morton.
I'd like to see him catch and shoot that, Benny.
I would like to see that too, and I think you may see that as the season goes on. Chickering drives in, up right hand, off the glass, could not quite get the finish. That rim is unkind, that backboard unkind as well. Good look and a good floater there by Chickering, couldn't get the finish.
Yeah, it was a tough angle though. He was very wide trying to get that floater going.
Davidson and Jensen fighting for it, and you're going to get Davidson with a foul down there, and that'll be his second.
And that was all ball.
Toughest part about that one was it was kind of late on the help side defense there. If he'd been there a little bit earlier, might have been able to draw the offensive foul. So didn't get rewarded there for his effort, that's for sure. Rice is going to come into the ball game now for Davidson, and now Oxford Hills is missing arguably their top 3 players.
Well, your top 3 players sitting on the bench with in the first quarter with 2 fouls each is not a good thing.
Trail by 1, 5-4, 57.9 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Both free throws are good by Rowe, and it's 6-4, Edward Little. Chickering gets it back over. Sanborn gets it over the timeline. Now gets it back to Chickering. Over to Philibrown. LeBron looking for a little bit of assistance. Now gets it to Chickering.
And EL's plays straight man-to-man. A lot of ball pressure.
And now you're going to get a 5-second call.
And that's what,
Not sure if he was happy with the call or somebody was supposed to be somewhere and they weren't.
well, that's what I mean. That's right, Matty. The fact that the players didn't do what he wanted to get that call.
Cedra into the ball game. Gets it over to Cox. Cox now gets it over to Middleton. Middleton being guarded by Chickering. That's a tough matchup for Riley. But Middleton can't find the handle. Of course, you look at it the other way. A lot of turnovers from Edward Little, and you'd kind of hope that Oxford Hills could take advantage. Sanborn with a beautiful defensive play and draws a foul.
Have your leader on the floor.
Well, you also have to have someone who can take a shot, too. Take a three-pointer, too, in a situation like this. Beauchene with a crossover, kicks it out. Phillip Brown, late second, and then you're going to have a dunk there. That's going to be Rowe, and that's going to end the first quarter. Not what you want to see there if you're an Oxford Hills Vikings fan. 8-4, ending the first quarter. That was a kind of a delayed play leading to that fast break dunk. Be right back in 1 minute on Main Spear Country, OXO. And looks like most of the starters are in for Oxford Hills here. They're going to have to be doggone careful.
Well, at some point you have to just play and not worry about the fouls. You've got to try to get the team into some kind of groove and get out of this low-scoring affair.
Rice with good defense there on Jensen, but Jensen with a strong post move, 10-4.
Jensen's a very talented player that's oftentimes not spoken a lot about statewide, but he can do it all.
Beauchene with it, gets it to Rice. Rice takes a couple of dribbles up, looking for some assistance, gets it from Beauchene. Beauchene looking to clear everything out and get it down low to Davidson, but Davidson almost getting kind of double teamed there as you get Jensen down in the paint. Nice play, nice pass from Fleming, nice finish from Rice. It's 10-6. Edward Little's lead cut down to 4.
Well, there's where all the successes have been coming from for Oxford Hills. Get the ball in Fleming's hand in the paint and let him make a good decision like that with a cutting Dalton Rice that time with a strong baseline move.
Davidson and Rice can benefit a lot from Fleming being up in the high post. Meanwhile, Rowe misses the shot, follows the shot, lays it up and in, 12-6.
Rowe's been very active, the junior. That's his 8th point for the game for EL.
Beauchene could not get the crossover to go, and it goes out of bounds. Sterling gets it into the front court. Out of the timeout. That was an Oxford Hills timeout. That was their first. Over to Rowe. Now to Maine. Back to Rowe. Rowe takes a couple of dribbles in, kicks it out. Sterling picks up his dribble, and he traveled.
And you can see inside either Middleton or Rowe off its, back on the heels with the foul trouble, and defensively that they can just keep getting to the line and hurting the team.
Well, they'd like to get Davidson or Fleming that third foul. That would certainly boost their causes here. Davidson drives in, hook shot, over everything, can't get it to go, gets his own miss, lays it up and in.
Well, that's a nice aggressive move by Luke. The little floater didn't go, but he grabbed the rebound and put back. He's much stronger and agile this year.
12-8. Oxford Hills trails EL. Jensen wide open down low, and he makes Oxford Hills pay 14-8.
Yeah, defensive breakdown on the weak side allowed Jensen to get to the low block for the easy pass and completion.
Beauchene working against Sterling, gets it over to Fleming. Beauchene with a nice screen there. Fleming with a spin move up into the lane. And they're going to call him for a travel.
Fusing.
Especially with the left hand. So, 14-8. Edward Little basketball, 5:30 remaining in the first half. You get it to Middleton. Ripley getting in there. Middleton can't find the handle, and Beauchene comes down to the rebound. And then he gets tripped. The way. Nothing good can happen back there. Ripley gets it on the inbound, now gets it back to Beauchene. Oxford Hills basketball, 5:15 remaining in the first half. Beauchene, Rice, up and in.
Well, Dalton Rice, as we know, is a terrific athlete and has really found his range, and he's got great touch, and he just stays at it. The second basket of the game.
Sterling with it up top, swings it over to the side to Jensen down low. Middleton up and in, 16-10, and Middleton got the seal there on Ripley, and nice post move and a good look on the side from Jensen. 16-10, Edward Little with the lead. 4:40 remaining. Rice to Ripley. Back to Rice. Rice is going to shoot it. Can't get it to go, and back the other way now comes Edward Little. Sterling up ahead to Maine. Maine is open, and he is going to shoot it. No good. Rebound comes down to Rowe. Rowe gets it back to Sterling. Down low, Jensen. Good entry pass, 18-10. Edward Little with the lead.
Well, that's clearly their game plan is pound it down low.
Oh, 18-10 EL.
Going to Jensen, and for Oxford Hills, struggling to get into their rhythm. A couple of decent baskets, but need to get a little bit more ball movement to get those open looks.
Chickering is in the ball game now for Rice. Chickering up top. Davidson does a good job getting out of the lane and avoiding the 3-second call. Beauchene with it on the left elbow extended. Gets it to Fleming. Fleming being guarded by Maine. Now down low to Davidson. Can't get the finish, and Middleton comes down with it. And then Fleming with the steal. Lay-in no good. Maine with the foul. Fleming
I can go to the line to shoot two.
puts the knees into it and gets it to go. 18-11 now. Second free throw is short. Maine taps it to Jensen. Back the other way comes Edward Little. Maine with it, being guarded by Fleming. Fleming has to be careful not to reach here. You want him to play defense, but you don't want him to do anything silly to pick up that third.
Well, that's what part of the issue, though. The problem is when players get early fouls, they change the way they play sometimes.
And Davidson right there.
Speaking of which.
3. Morton's going to be coming into the ball game as well.
Dalton Rice back in the game.
He's going to be in for Ripley.
Also Ben Morton.
Oxford Hills out of sorts right now with all this foul trouble on their key players affecting their performance.
Both free throws are good, and it's 20-11. Edward Little, 3:16 remaining in the first half. Beauchene with a no-look to Fleming. Fleming could not find the balance, gets the rebound. Floats up and lays it in, 20-13.
And he has guys hanging all over him, and he was able to somehow get that back and power it up.
And Rowe was wide open, didn't drive to the basket, pulled up instead, missed, and rebound comes back to Oxford Hills.
Yeah, unexplainable. Rowe had a wide open lane and didn't take it to the basket.
Rice is out there, drives baseline, picks up the dribble, gets it to Fleming. Now not going to hand it off to Beauchene. Fleming drives to the basket, off the glass, can't quite get the finish. Jensen down. That glass is unkind.
Yeah, has not been very kind this first half to.
Middleton back the other way, can't get the finish.
You saw some of the explosion, though. Quickness and strong move to the basket.
2:25 remain, 20-13. Oxford Hills looking to get it down to at least 5 here. Fleming drives in, off the glass, no good. Rebound, back to the Eddies.
And Fleming is reaching and clawing for the ball because he's frustrated, but he has to be very careful with 2 fouls already. Those shots will come. You're in good shape. You're only down 7. He's going to play solid D.
Down low, and that's a tough matchup for Morton as Jensen sealed him right off, 22-13.
Well, Riley Chickering completely missed the weak side help and just allowed that to happen. You've got to, on the weak side, you've got to come over and help your teammate.
Beauchene working against Morton. Morton fires a 3. This would be big for him. Can't get it to go down. Middleton with the rebound.
No, someone's going to have to step up and create a little spark for the Vikings, and that was a good shot by Ben Morton.
Down low, Jensen left hand, no good. Takes a weird bounce off the glass. Beauchene looked like he was in perfect position to get the rebound, couldn't get it.
Well, now we've got players standing around on the boards, not rebounding.
Beauchene drives in, blocked by Middleton, then Chickering gets the jumper, 22-15.
A little lefty pull-up jumper from about 12 feet out on the rebound action.
7-point lead now for Edward Little. Under a minute 10 remaining, excuse me. Fleming once again hacks in there and gets nothing but ball. Taking that gamble, back the other way come the Vikings. Fleming, spin move, and that's going to be a travel. He took that extra second.
It is, yeah.
Beauchene and Fleming out of the game. That means they should finish the half with just the 2 fouls, which is a big win if you're Coach Graffam.
Well, right now you're down 7. You want to make sure you don't try to get any deeper at this point.
Cox up top, Maine, down low, Jensen, Sanborn reaches his hand in there, taps it away. Jensen out, 3, no good. Rebound comes down to Rowe. He's in trouble on the baseline, and
That's
going to be a 3-second call. Great call by the official there.
He rebounded and couldn't create any space, and the official got the 3-second call on him.
Morton gets the ball off the inbounds and gets it over the timeline. Morton, Philibrown to Rice. Rice looking down low for Sanborn. Sanborn with a nice hook shot on Middleton. Cannot get it to go. Rice, offensive rebound, up and in over the outstretched arm of Middleton. Good finish by Rice, 22-17. Edward Little lead down to 5.
Very tough shot, trying to get enough elevation up and over Middleton's long, outstretched arm.
Middleton can help you out a lot on the defensive side.
He's a very good player.
Middleton pull up, back iron, no good, tapped around, ball is down, and that's going to be it. Philibrown kept that loose just long enough so Edward Little couldn't get another bite at the apple. Turnovers, fouls, Lions, Tigers, Bears, oh my. 5-point lead for the Edward Little Red Eddies at the half. We will take a break. You're listening to Oxford Hills Vikings basketball on Main Superior Country OXO. We'll be right back with the Oxford Federal Credit Union player profile. Could be a good point. Anyways, back to the action here. Second half underway. Oxford Hills basketball to start the second half. Starters out there for both teams. Sterling, Maine, Rowe, Middleton. And down low, Fleming gets the post move. He's matched up against Maine. The hoop, the harm, 22-19. Fleming goes to the line to shoot one, and that is exactly how you want to start the second half if you're Edward Little. And again, that's going to be Sterling, Rowe, Jensen, Middleton, and Maine for Edward Little. Fleming, Davidson, Rice, Ripley, and Beauchene for Oxford Hills on the floor. Free throws missed. Rebound down to Jensen, 22-19.
Well, Caleb Maine has been doing a nice job kind of keeping Fleming out of where he really wants to be.
And Rice, Dalton Rice, narrowly avoided getting the foul call there because of the travel beforehand. So, little lucky break there. That Red Eddie's clock is really messing with me because it goes from like 7 to 1 to 2 and some other stuff there going on. Rice down low. Goes to pick it up off the glass, no good. Nice position by Davidson with the putback. Good seal out there on Middleton as well. It's now 22-21.
And now Davidson getting the feel for where his teammates are going to do. Really worked hard to get that low inside position for the easy putback.
Whatever Coach Craft said at halftime, he should probably keep saying it. Now down low, that's Jensen, swings it out. Sterling down low, Jensen gets it back with the left hand. Good two-man game there between Sterling and Jensen. 24-21, Edward Little extends their lead back up to 3.
That's 12 points now for Jensen as Coach Adams has done a good job really getting him into the low paint area to use his length and athleticism to score over players.
Davidson was down low and Rice was late with the pass, and Rowe came back with it.
Rowe pretty quick, long arms.
Of course, Edward Little's always going to have a high basketball IQ, so you make any type of move against them, they're going to make you pay. Ripley against Middleton, down low to Jensen. Jensen with a nice turnaround there, and Davidson with solid defense there. Rice with the rebound.
Rice comes up with it.
And Davidson.
That should be a block.
That should have been a goaltend there. Wasn't any.
Ball hit the backboard.
But we did hear the other night from one of the top officials, if the ball hits the backboard and goes up, you can block it. If it has,
Hold on. Okay, good.
we need one of the gang to stay up there.
I don't want yes, the Dalton gang. Jensen, three-pointer, in and out, no good. Ripley with a rebound.
And you can see EL's strategy. They're trying to get him inside, now out, and he almost buried that. You really don't want Jensen to get off here if you're Oxford Hills.
Fleming in the paint, back iron, no good.
A little bit off. Body balance is way off on that shot.
Beauchene does a good job forcing him to shoot it, and then you get a foul there. Free throw's no good.
Luke Sterling filling for Ian Malikas at the point spot.
Both free throws no good. Rebound comes down to Oxford Hills, and back the other way comes Beauchene. 24-21. Oxford Hills going right to left across your radio dial. Fleming into the lane. Hop step. They're going to call for the step.
I don't think so. There's no way. Just because it looks unorthodox doesn't make it a travel. If you step through with 2 feet, it is not a travel.
Well, welcome to Maine High School basketball.
And we'll admit, though, he's Andrew is very unorthodox in the way he rambles through the paint.
He does. Middleton In and out, no good. Maine with a rebound, kicks it to Jensen. 3, no good. Rebound, Davidson. And foul called there. That's either going to be on Rowe or Middleton.
Have EL for 4 fouls for the game.
Yeah, don't look at that board.
Well, for the game, not the half. They have 2 for the half. See a lot of standing right now by Oxford Hills.
Rice up at the top of the key, gets it to Beauchene. Like to see Beauchene start kicking it in from the three-point line, get some open looks. Rice thought he drew a foul there, didn't. Shot no good. Rebound down to Rowe. And Beauchene has to be careful. Almost drew the 4th.
Well, we're in one of those paradigms where the different officials are calling it a little differently.
And then a jumper out there from Rowe. Nice hard arc there. Fleming gets it up into the front court. Rice lays it up, lays it in over Middleton. 26-23.
A little slice and dice by Rice. Gets to the rack.
He was down there in under a minute. And that...
Oh!
What? Wow!
That's
No. Looked like Davidson had position all set. Sterling went right into him, and they called the foul.
Now you talk about a huge foul, the 4th foul of the game. Now I know we don't have the half circle under the basket, but that's because we don't use it in high school basketball.
That's
Step for 2 steps.
that's not us, by the way.
Yeah. So I will only go to a certain point. I do have a filter.
That's a tough call.
Wow. What are you going to do to get a charge around here?
Free throw, no good, and then Jensen's going to get the over the back.
Eddie's foul on number 4.
Coach Graffam unenthused. Jensen got the over the back there, 27-23.
I'm sorry, did he miss?
He missed one. He missed the second. Made the first.
I got a little caught up on the action.
Back to the game now.
Back to the
Beauchene
game.
gets into the front court. Rice, that looks good. It is. Splash. 27-26. Oxford Hills once again back within 1. Maine with it now with the left hand. Drives in. Hands it off. Middleton. And they're going to get the block.
There was 3 Oxford Hills players on. They had 3 choices: Rice, Ripley,
Or Fleming.
And I got to give Matt Beauchene credit. I see him going to the ref. 1-5, 1-5, 1-5.
The floor general doing his thing. Middleton's free throw is good. 28-26. It's the second time this half Oxford Hills has got it within 1.
Well, it's not a high-scoring affair, but I think we're going to have plenty of drama down the home stretch here this last quarter and a half.
Both free throws are good. 29-26. Edward Little leads by 3. 4:09 remaining in the first half. Second half, excuse me.
Third quarter.
How about the... Wow. On fire today. Ripley's going to get called for steps. Minutes remaining, third quarter, 29-26. Edward Little. Edward Little ball, they going left to right. Maine being guarded by Fleming. Maine dribbles in. Gets it to Rowe. Baseline jumper, no good. Rebound, Maine. Fleming turnaround with a nice block and gets the rebound. And then Beauchene draws a foul there. That's going to be on Rowe. 3:45 remaining. Sanborn inbounds it to Rice. Swings it over to Fleming. Back to Rice. Dribbles in. Hop step. Off the glass and in. Nice play by Dalton Rice. 29-28.
Well, when you take a talented athlete and you give him some confidence, you're seeing what we're seeing right now. Dalton Rice is carrying this team right now.
Rice down on the baseline is guarding Jensen. Rowe with the ball, dribbles in, up on Sanborn. Sanborn does a good job not to draw the foul, but Rowe lays it in. 31-28.
That's 12 points for Rowe. He's been extremely effective here tonight for the Eddies.
No relation to the former UMass player Lou Rowe. Fleming shot no good. Sanborn offensive rebound up and in. 31-30.
The 6'2" senior coming off the bench playing a big role with a big putback for Oxford Hills.
Having to fill in for Luke Davidson, who's being plagued by foul trouble. Jensen, Rice, down low, Maine up and in.
Good basketball by EL that time. Maine's made a nice cut to the basket, and Jensen hit him on the cut.
33-30, 3-point lead for Edward Little. To try to get it to Fleming, but the pass is knocked off, and you're going to get a foul there, and I think that's going to be on Rice, and that'll be his.
The official has called those little cheapies all. That was a very strange call.
It was well after the play, too. The play was over.
Well, that's the thing that kind of rubs me a little bit is the advantage-disadvantage piece.
Travel there on Jensen. Out of the ball game now with 3 fouls. Ripley back in for him. Just to kind of reset it, Sanborn, Chickering, Morton, Ripley, Rice for Oxford Hills. Morton with it, looking to get it down low to Sanborn. Sanborn with a hook. Can't quite get it to go. Good post move. Couldn't get the finish.
And showing a lot of confidence in his move. You'd like to see that from the senior.
Well, you need to see it. And Sanborn.
Really, the thing is, the part that concerns me is you have different officials calling a different game. They're all calling it a different way.
Rowe with it up top. Now to Sterling. Sterling swings it over to Maine. Down low. That's going to be Jensen. You can get the foul there on Rice.
Working the officials, and this one guy's giving him the call down. Yates, who's gotten good minutes at JV and has played well at times, is going to be pressing the duty here tonight.
Yates had a couple of good minutes in the JV game earlier. Sanborn gets the rebound. 33-30 still, Edward Little. Chickering in trouble, gets it to Ripley. Ripley gets it to Morton. Phillip Brown, 3. They need it, can't get it to go.
How is that?
I don't even know. I'm not sure.
I'm not going to say anymore.
Yeah.
Now, Oxford Hills just trying to piece this together with the foul trouble. And the ironic thing is only 13 fouls for the entire game against Oxford Hills and only 6 against EL. But they're all against the wrong players, if you will.
Right. Morton gets it over the timeline to Chickering. Chickering gets it back to Morton. Morton swings it back to Phillip Brown. Back to Morton. Morton handles it. Gets it up top to Chickering. 1:25 remaining. Ripley kind of the leader out there right now.
Yeah, you're playing with one starter on the floor, and that's the sophomore, number 11 in green, Ty Ripley.
Chickering drives into the lane. No foul called there. Jensen's going to get the block shot, and back the other way comes Edward Little.
Yeah, and there shouldn't have been a foul. It was a little bit trying to force the action and hoping for a call.
3-pointer here, no good. And that foul there is going to be called on Cedre there. 30.
This game,
well, there's 5 now. They're 2 fouls away. Let's see if they get there. Morton gets it over the timeline now. Swings it, and a little miscommunication there, out of bounds.
nice spot-up shooter was asked to bring the ball up and kind of got a little over his head, I think. Made the bad pass, threw it away.
Approaching 45 seconds remaining, 33-30, Edward Little. You know, even with all this foul trouble, Edward Little hasn't been able to take advantage. And then came in for Yates. Yates getting some varsity minutes here. Approaching 40 seconds remaining. Chickering to Phillip Brown. Phillip Brown gets it over the timeline. Now gets it to Chickering. Swings it down low. Sanborn. Nice ball movement. Ripley for 3. Can't get it to go. Morton taps it out to Phillip Brown on the baseline. Back to Morton. Morton, couple of dribbles, picks it up to Ripley.
And he's being pushed. Morton's being pushed physically by Cedre all over the floor.
Got 10 seconds remaining. Ripley with it. Kicks it back out to Chickering. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Chickering with the ball, dribbles left hand, drives in. Hook shot, no good. Ripley tries to bat it down, can't get it to go, and that's going to end the third quarter. How's it going to be called in the fourth quarter? Stay tuned. We'll find out. 3-point lead for Edward Little. We'll be right back. Maine's Pure Country, OXO.
Johnson on the floor with 4 fouls. Fleming with 3. Beauchene with 3. And Rice with 3. That's 4 of their 5 starters with big foul trouble.
And you hope nobody gets any cheapies here. Edward Little basketball. They get it down low, and Fleming gets his hand in there and bats it away. Turnover. Oxford Hills basketball.
Good deflection as Maines was trying to go baseline.
Good shot fake by Ripley. Lays it up and in. Lays it up. No good. Rebound down to Middleton.
But one of the things the foul troubles has done is hasn't allowed us to bang the boards as hard as we've had recently.
Definitely changes everything. Ripley down low on Middleton. At this point, Ripley's done a fantastic job. And Ripley on the back end is going to get called for the foul. Davidson thinks it's him. And that will be Ripley on the reach in there. Davidson thought for sure it would be him, and really you can't blame him. 35-30.
Well, EL's doing a great job trying to isolate out of Middleton or Jensen in the low block, playing basically one-on-one and just trying to get them open. Very difficult to cover and not get much help from their teammates in Oxford Hills.
Middleton gets a free throw, and it's back up to a 6-point lead. 36-30, 7:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. Beauchene with it, gets it back up top to Rice. Oxford Hills has got it down to 1 twice here in the second half and has not been able to overcome and get that lead. Beauchene with it. Puts the dribble down, dribbles in, kicks it out. Ripley can't quite find the handle. Gets it to Rice. Rice swings it to Davidson in the on the side for three. Splash! Good look, good finish. 36-33.
Good patience, a little bit of probe on the defense, and the kick out to Davidson, showing the range from the three-point baseline.
I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Davidson out towards the three-point line more in this one. Middleton couldn't find the handle and now gets it over to Rowe. Rowe to Sterling. Fleming needs to be careful. He doesn't want to get anything silly. Back up top to Rowe. Back over to Middleton. Down low to Jensen. A little to the line.
You got to be kidding me.
It's out there.
No, there was not a clear foul. Well, the fact is you can call a foul on every play as many times as you want, frankly.
You probably can. Maine's first free throw is no good. Maine was the one shooting the free throw. 36-33, 6:25 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Caleb Maine has given him good minutes here tonight. Defensively, he's played well on Fleming.
37-33, hits the second free throw. 6:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. Fleming up at the top of the key. Swings it over to Ripley. Ripley takes takes one dribble, gets it back to Fleming. Fleming down low, tried to get it off to Davidson, but the ball was intercepted there. Now Beauchene has to be careful not to draw a foul, but good defense. Gets Jensen to miss the shot. Now Oxford Hills back the other way. Rice lays it up. Around the rim and in.
What a great decision. He could have easily tried to dish it off to Fleming, but he just kept putting the pressure on the defense. Middleton kept backing up, and he laid a little floater over the top.
Nobody stopped to step up. I thought Rice was going to draw the offensive foul there and didn't. Meanwhile, Middleton takes a three-pointer no good, and Davidson pulls down a strong board. Oxford Hills has a chance to tie this thing up, 37-35. Davidson, three! No good!
Oh, with Davidson set his feet, caught the pass, and stepped right into it. It was a good-looking shot.
Garrett!
Then Ripley's going to draw the foul there.
Foul on number 11, tying for
It really depends on which official is in what position in this game. But
Free throw's no good. Edward Little has not been able to take advantage in this one.
no, the free throws, Caleb's been to the line. This is his fourth time this quarter, and he's made one thus far.
One thing I will say, typically in these games, he hits a second, 38-35. You don't see one team in the bonus and one not. It's just a matter of when Oxford Hills gets into that bonus. Rice gets it to Davidson. Don't think he was expecting to get it. And Rice saves it, but Ripley couldn't quite get the handle on it out of bounds.
Well, good out of his reach. But the good news, only down 3, and really haven't played well.
They have certainly not played their A game. Sterling with it, and I'm sure Coach Adams would say the same thing about Edward Little.
Yeah, it's been it's been a war.
Sterling drives baseline, kicks it out. Maine thinks about the three, doesn't. Now takes a dribble, spins it over to Rowe. Down low for Jensen. Back to Rowe, back to Jensen. Jensen for three. Good.
Well, you knew you couldn't keep him quiet all night from the 3. That's 15 for Lou for the game, his first 3.
Every time Oxford Hills gets into it, they can't. Now you got a foul down low on Sterling. Coach Graffam is going to take a full timeout. We will also take a full timeout. We'll be back. 35 remaining, fourth quarter, 41-35. Edward Little with the lead over Oxford Hills. You're listening on Main Spear Country OXO. Beauchene inbounds it to Davidson. Davidson trapped in the corner, now gets it back up top to Rice, who just barely saves. A good hustle by Dalton.
That was an incredibly athletic save.
Ripley, meanwhile, is going to get called for a travel. Into the ball game.
I think they like to try to see if they get a little spark out of Benny Morton from the perimeter.
Need to get him in a position where he's just outside catching and shooting. Middleton drives off the rim and in.
A very, very difficult shot by Andrew Middleton. Gets that floater at the fall.
43-35. Now Edward Little with the lead. 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Looks like Edward Little starting to pull away here. Nice entry pass down low from Rice to Davidson. Davidson with a solid finish down and in, 43-37.
Well, there's your answer for Oxford Hills. You've got to pound it down in the low block the rest of this game and get to the free throw line.
Or at least attempt to get to the free throw line.
Yeah, that'll start to happen now.
Beauchene tries to go for the steal, can't. Sterling with a nice pass to Maine. Maine can't finish. And Sterling gets the ball back. Now it's all over the place. Now he rehandles it. Jensen for 3. This could be a dagger. Can't get it to go. Out of bounds.
And they're going to let it stay.
It's going to be with...
It stayed up. It meant it stayed that way, but evidently not.
3:26 remaining. Oxford Hills basketball, 43-37. Rice on the baseline, picks it up, swings it to Morton. Morton gets it back to Beauchene up at the top. Beauchene thought about shooting it, instead gets it to Rice. Rice takes a couple of dribbles into the lane, fires up, no good. And that's going to be on Fleming. That'll be his fourth.
Just need to catch a couple of breaks, a couple stops.
Free throw, no good.
As you mentioned, Edward Little in a double bonus. Oxford Hill is yet to be in the bonus this game.
Interesting. Second free throw is good, 44-37. Beauchene gets it over the timeline, dribbles into the lane, kicks it to Fleming. Fleming up, off the backboard and in. Hung with it for a little bit and got his shot, 44-39. 5-point lead now for Edward Little, and Oxford Hills needs to come up with a stop here and get the ball back. 2:45 remaining.
And offensively, I would stay away from the perimeter shot for Oxford Hills. Get into the paint, cause the contact, create the fouls, stop the clock.
Get it down to Andrew and Luke and see if maybe you can get a nice finish for Dalton there as well. Meanwhile, Maine drives into the lane, no good. Middleton gets the finish, puts it down, and now Rice is up ahead, lays it up, and can't finish.
Well, that's your ball game right there. Even though there's plenty of time left, that's a huge swing.
I think Rice couldn't believe how open he was. Jensen fires from long range, no good. He hit that one. He tried to shoot that one from Minot. Morton with it on the baseline. Has to pick up the dribble now. Spins it back up top to Beauchene. Now to Davidson. Davidson at the free throw line. Davidson up. Draws the contact. And he'll go to the line and shoot a pair. 2:09 remaining in the fourth. 46-39. Edward Little with the lead.
Nice foul on number 21, Elijah Rowe. That's his third foul.
Nobody works the officials better than Coach Adams, that's for sure.
No, and he has such a great way about him. He's a really smart guy, and his personality is very warming, and I think he gets the officials to really like him.
Davidson's free throw will not go. And it's shots like that makes you wonder if it's just not the Vikings' night.
Well, when you think the last play with Dalton Rice missing that easy wide open layup, that's uncharacteristic.
After all the tough shots he's hit this year, too. Like I said, I just don't think he realized how open he was. Davidson's second free throw, no good. Batted around, and that's going to be Beauchene's fifth foul. Beauchene's first free throw is good, 46-40.
You know, I'm not sure that we've had a lot of those Tommy Heinz and Tommy Point moments. Been a good effort by both teams. Really, both teams playing very hard and trying to get themselves set up for the final run, as you mentioned, only about 6 weeks out.
Beauchene hits both free throws, 46-41. Oxford Hills trails by 5 here against Edward Little at Edward Little.
Still plenty of time. You just need to get a stop. You need to be patient. There it is.
Dalton Rice with a nice defensive play, and Chickering comes up with a loose ball. Fleming with it now, and it's stolen away. Rowe. Sterling lays it up and in.
Yeah, just a careless pass by Fleming, got intercepted.
Rice lay in, no good, and the rebound comes down. That's going to stay here. I wasn't sure which way they were going there.
Well, I would have gone to basket interference.
Morton into the ball game now for Davidson. Rice, Beauchene swings it. Morton, corner, no good. Rebound, Rice. Rice squares up. Yes! 48-44. Things there and hits a nice three-pointer. A minute 17 remaining in the fourth quarter. We'll take a quick break right here. Maine's Pure.
Stay alive. Got to get a big stop here. They're going to look at going for the home run pass.
They're going to put Rice back to guard against that. Now Jensen in the backcourt. And now Oxford Hill's going to pull off and let him come into the front court.
Yeah, you want to trap and maybe foul right here. Is who you want to foul right here. Get Sterling.
And
I think you'll see Oxford Hills look to trap and foul quickly.
Middleton gets it, lays it up and in. That was really good body control. Now up ahead, Rice gets blocked from behind by Middleton. Middleton's like, really?
Well, I would agree with that myself. That was just about as clean a block as you'll see.
A lot of times the big kids at this level get penalized, whether it's for the athleticism, whether it's for their abilities to do things. And he really jumped right out of the gym there. Looked like he got Rice clean, but some of the fouls I've seen tonight, maybe that was owed. Rice's free throw rattles around and goes in, 50-45.
Well, there's no doubt about that.
I think of the Davidson charge down here, which would be my, the blocking foul.
Or the Beauchene.
Or the Beauchene touch foul, yeah, that one too. No good. Fleming gets the offensive rebound, lays it up, and in the foul!
That's what we're talking about. Here we go, boys and girls.
50-47. This game is within 3. Oxford Hills has a chance to get it within 2 if Fleming can hit this free throw.
Tough battle for the rebound and the putback, and draws the foul.
Put your knees into it. Don't have the liner. And no good.
Free throw is going to come back to bite Oxford Hills this fourth quarter.
That and missed layups. Beauchene, no call. Now you're going to get a foul there on...
See how he fares. He's been 2 for 4 in the fourth quarter from the free throw line.
Around the rim and in, 51-47, back to a 2-possession game.
Morton into the game for the Vikings.
Morton into the game, Davidson into the game, Chickering and Ripley out.
But for Oxford Hills, this fourth quarter, 3 of 7 from the free throw line.
Plus those 2 missed layups down low.
Yeah.
They've had their opportunities to come back and win this one.
Yep.
Second free throw is good as well, 52-47. Beauchene with it, gets it up over the timeline. And that was a foul call in the third quarter, not now. Beauchene with it, kicks it out. Fleming, 40 seconds. Fleming drives in, lay-in, no good. Rebound fought for, and the rebound's going to be on Rice, I think.
It sure does, and you know that's a really tough thing for competitive players to kind of try to harness that and not respond to when you're being pushed by somebody else. It's a natural reaction to defend yourself. But oftentimes, as you alluded to, Matty, the officials will catch the second push. Although I didn't see a second push, but...
Middleton hits both free throws, 54-47. Now Jensen's going to shoot the free throws for the shots down low.
This always goes back to how officials don't affect games argument.
That's a free throw again. Well, Oxford Hills' 3 best players are in foul trouble the entire game. I'm going to go ahead and say that probably, 4 best players, because Rice is now in foul trouble late. I'm going to go ahead and say that. I think Coach Graffa might be trying to get his own technical at this point.
He certainly is. He should. I don't blame him one bit.
At this point, out by 9, and he is furious.
I wish I could take my headset off and listen, because I'd rather listen to him than me right now.
We just couldn't put that on the air.
His filter's a little different.
Middleton with it. Of course, Edward Little's just going to run it out here. 30 seconds remaining. Stay tuned for the Bessie Motors player of the game after this one.
I'd foul myself. Put him on the line.
Nah, they might call it intentional and get ejected from the gym at this point.
Yeah, they're going to let it run out.
And now they're going to call a touch foul back up here.
Coach Graffman did not want that.
No good from Sterling.
Caleb Gillibrand in the game for the Vikings.
He missed that first one, Matty.
He did miss it. 56-47 still. Second, no good. Missed them both. Davidson gets it out to Beauchene. Crossover, lays it up, and in, 56-49. And it was a marked improvement from opening night for the Oxford Hills Vikings. They lost big opening night against Edward Little. But unfortunately, not enough. Could not stay out of foul trouble, and 56-49 is your final here.